Imagine this, a small house standing alone in a wide valley surrounded by fields of golden corn, promising a bountiful harvest. But what if I told you that this very farmer, who had placed all his hopes in the corn, suddenly faces a disaster that changes everything? How would he react? And what extraordinary step would he take to save his family? Curious? Well, stay with me as we dive into the fascinating story of a letter to God. This is a tale of faith, hope, and an unexpected twist that will leave you thinking. So, who is this farmer? Meet Lencho, a hardworking man who lives with his family in a solitary house on the crest of a low hill. Lencho isn't just any farmer, he's someone who has unwavering faith in one thing: God. But what happens when nature itself turns against him? Let's find out. Lencho believes that this rain is a blessing. He thinks it will nourish his crops and bring him the best harvest he's ever had. But just as he's filled with hope, the story takes a dramatic turn. What starts as a gentle rain turns into a deadly storm. Can you guess what happens next? Hold on, because things are about to get intense. Lencho decides to write a letter, not just any letter, but a letter to God. Yes, you heard that right. He asks for 100 pesos to replant his fields and save his family from hunger. Now, you might be wondering, does Lencho really believe that God will send him money? Absolutely. His faith is so strong that he's certain his letter will reach God. But here's the twist. How does this letter actually reach its destination? And more importantly, who ends up reading it? Now, this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. The postmaster, a kind man, is both surprised and amused by Lencho's faith. But what he does next is something that will restore your faith in humanity. Can you guess what the postmaster decides to do? Think about it. How would you respond to a letter addressed to God? Lencho opens the envelope and counts the money. But instead of feeling grateful, he's angry. Yes, angry. Why? Because the amount is less than what he asked for, and he believes the rest was stolen. But who does he think stole it? His answer will leave you stunned. Lencho writes another letter to God, asking for the remaining money but with a warning. He asks God not to send it through the post office because he believes the postal workers are a bunch of crooks. Can you believe that? The very people who tried to help him are now accused of stealing. This ironic twist is what makes A Letter to God such a powerful story about faith and perspective. So, what's the moral of this story? Is it about the strength of faith, the kindness of strangers, or the irony of life? That's something for you to think about. But one thing is clear, Lencho's faith, no matter how misplaced, was unshakable. And sometimes, it's our belief in the impossible that drives us to achieve the unimaginable. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories from your Class 10 English syllabus. And hey, let me know in the comments, what would you do if you were in Lencho's place? Would you have written that letter? Let's discuss.